the same as before. Double get flak. I guess we'll find out.
Spoiler alert.
No, no, please, no. It'll be an exciting mystery, and you're just ruining it all.
Alright,
Let's do this.
first off, the Potato Predators, we have the Graveyard Shift, piloted by Mighty Kemp. It is a meta junk with a left side Artemis, Hades, and a left side, and a right side Gap Mortar. And we have the Gizmo Duck, piloted by Sputnik. It is a Galleon with a left side Double Lumberjack, and the right side, Watch a Carronade. Oh, and a top Hades.
Alright, and we have on blue team the King's Decree. It is a left side Double Lumberjack Hades, and right side Watch a Carronade with a flare gun rear. And we have the Nibelung, which is piloted by Dulac, the Merc Top Gun with Hades wings, and Gat right side underside gun, and Flak underside right side gun. Or left side gun, my bad. The Flak's on the left side of the Nibelung.
So this Mobula has a lot of disable power with their... They have a buff charged Merc and 2 burst Artemis, which can easily disable both these red ships. The Junker, which is very vulnerable to disable all their components out. And the Galleon, which takes so long to rebuild these heavy guns.
I will say though that the Double Lumberjack is probably going to have an advantage against that Mobula because there's 2 of them. Even though they do have a lot of disabled power, if they lose their gun arcs, they're never going to get them back up against good Lumberjack gun.
And another thing, this Mobula does not have Joke Shoot. They have Hydro... they've opted for Phoenix Claw.
Hydro. Oh, I see.
Hydro and Shoot Vent.
Yes. I'm aware that you're a part of the Dementio School of Mobula, where Phoenix Claw is hedonistic.
Yeah.
But I am curious as to the loss of Joke Shoot against these Double Lumberjack Galleons. I wonder if the Junker... Yeah, Junker has Joke Shoot with him, as does the Galleon. We're seeing a lot of Double Lumberjack Galleons lately.
Yeah, it
seems
it's the
strange.
It's the most powerful long range Galleon because a heavy flak, its use is in a very limited time slot. Just when their armor breaks. So Lumberjack is... It's pretty good most of the time, and it's a lot easier to hit with than the heavy flak. Which makes it...
But I will tell you on the other side, however, that nothing scares me more than enemy heavy flak, because nothing can change the game quite as rapidly as a well-placed heavy flak shot.
Sure. Like, against these Galleons, a heavy flak would make a huge difference. Like, a Galleon with Double Lumberjack versus a Galleon with a Lumberjack heavy flak. Just those heavy flaks would do so much damage. But against something like this Merc Double Artemis Galleon, a heavy flak is pretty hard to hit a Mobula, especially right in the hole. And with 2 Lumberjacks, you can much easily... you can keep it disabled much easier, because your guns are going to keep going down with the Merc and the Double Artemis.
I would say... I mean, apart from being able to more reliably take on a disable-focused sniper ship, which is basically almost every sniper ship, I will say Double Lumberjack does have a key advantage in that not only if the enemy sticks close together, you can actually suppress both of them at once with the Double Lumberjack, and I think that's the bigger thing as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you can split the fire of the Lumberjacks and both of them can just completely shut down both balloons of the ships.
And
then you have the Hades pick on whoever you want.
They do a decent armor damage too. Not too much hull damage. I think a Lumberjack shot does about 80 hull damage. Which, I mean...
it's gonna require the ground to finish off a ship, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hades will deal some perma-hull damage, but it won't be anything special. We got some Ring Around the Rosies going on here.
Yep.
The Canyon dance in the open map.
Nobody seems to want to burn their engines. So we just witnessed a spawn swap. Red team move over to blue spawn, and blue team move over to red spawn.
Yep. Otherwise known as the Canyon ambush dance. Alright, I am interested in seeing how... I don't think this Junker's gonna do very well if he tries to get into a sniper battle versus that Mobula, though.
No, it won't. But if the
Uh,
Mobula, if
that
the
Merc double Artemis is just gonna have its way with Junker's guns.
when the Mobula loses their balloon though, and they don't have joke shoots, so they will be falling like a rock, falling like a Mobula. Oh, engagement starting out.
Yeah, the Mobula falls more like a rock than the Galleon does. But
Yes.
hey, that's the disadvantage of having high vertical mobility. Also, the double lumberjack galleons are going to be interesting because they're going to be almost effectively completely useless against each other. I mean, they'll both pop each other's balloon, but because of the high upward arcs of a Hades and a lumberjack, the other galleon's going to be able to fire back anyway. So that's going to be interesting. Also, they are firing extremely far away.
Yeah,
What is that? About 1,750 meters?
Yeah.
That is quite some distance to be firing some lumberjack shots. I would say few are the gunners that could hit that. Now we got 1,000 meters here though, 1 kilometer. King's Decree firing off upon both the Junker and the Galleon, firing off upon that Galleon. I think the Mobula is actually staying that far back on purpose, now that I think about it, right?
Yes. Probably. And the
They
Mobula
are
is...
just barely in range of Artemis, it looks like they're going for. With burst rounds, that is. It would have been interesting to see if they brought Lesmok rounds though, so they could have actively engaged out of 2,000 meters. That would have been an interesting strategy, huh?
I think the Artemis range is like 1275, which normally is plenty, and with the extra damage out of burst, it's usually best to
It's
just bring that
1,300.
burst. 1300.
I mean, some people would bring Lesmok though, even though it gives you less shots in the Artemis and you lose out on that AoE bonus. If you're with a Merc, it allows you to fire out from 2,000 meters. Is kind of the thing I was going for on that one. But it looks like they're willing to go into, they're just going to try and maintain that exactly 1,300 meters here. So they can make effective use of their Merc and Artemis.
The blue team's managed to lock down the Shunker pretty well. The Red Galleon took a bunch of damage.
Yeah, Red Galleon was actually getting tipped to pieces by that Mobula, I believe. The combined firepower of the Mercs and the double Artemis. This is gonna be an exciting... This is gonna be an exciting Dunes-like, I think. I think that's where this is going. But I guess, I mean, what are you expecting with the double Lumberjack Galleons and the Junker with the Mobula?
Looks
Red
like
team is backing off, heading towards the west, it seems. Oh, my apologies, were you about to say that?
yes.
Yes. They might be thinking about trying to... It looks like blue team might also be on the move. Looks like, yeah, red is gonna be trying to use this little crevice here as an approach point. That's kind of dangerous, however, if they're going up against that double lumberjack galleon, because there's not much room to fall once they do get popped on top of this building here.
And the Galleon, the King's Decree is looking right at that spot, basically.
Yeah, it looks like they expect that to be happening pretty shortly here. The Mobula is looking to the east, but the galleon is watching that crevice area.
This Junker, this Junker does not want to get shot by either of those blue ships. They're very vulnerable to having their balloon or guns and engines disabled. Now, if they're just engaging the Mobula, they can just duck down and use their balloon to take all that Artemis and Merc damage. And then just hydra up with their buff balloon.
We might be having a surprise close-range engagement here pretty shortly. Both teams are heading to the west now, actually. It looks like red did not use the crevice. They continued going around the rock. And they are about to engage each other at very close range here. Yep. We're almost in brawl territory right now. That's range.
Now this blue mob will bring pretty effective against these red ships. Artemis is going out.
He is pinning down the Gizmo Duck's lumberjacks. I don't think the lumberjacks are going to be able to do anything if he's staying at the same height as the Merc and Artemis.
Gizmo Duck, one Merc shot away from death.
Gizmo Duck is a lot of things away from death, really, at that point. Especially as a galleon, you just have to rely on your armor at that, but you're still a big target.
Spud managed to fly into cover right here.
Yeah, he is in cover behind the Mobula, but he's able to retaliate against the galleon.
Unfortunately,
helping out his junker. But
unfortunately, those lumberjacks were in arm time. They were using Lesmok and those lumbers, which meant they weren't able to pop the blue galleon's balloon.
It's unfortunate, but it didn't really matter too much. Graveyard Shift is kind of
If they can
swapped off from the Graveyard Shift. Yeah, to finish off that galleon. I see. I'm kind of curious that they stopped attacking the junker though. The junker was already on the ground.
I think swapping to the galleon is probably the right call. But this junker was a bit slow getting back in, and now they're going to be taking the combined fire of this blue team.
Yeah, that junker is not going to have a good time against this.
Not much they could have done to run away either. And they're trying to use their...
The key thing to fight that Merc double Artemis is that the galleon's gonna need to stay out of arc of the Merc. The Artemis can aim very much well downward, and I believe that Mobula is pretty much staying at the ceiling for the most part.
Yeah.
So, but the Mercury cannot aim down, so he can have an initial advantage if he starts out at the very bottom.
If these red ships, if the red ships thought they could, they would be burning low underneath this Mobula and just eventually moving up to try to engage it.
Yeah, but the problem with that though is the double lumberjack galleon.
Exactly.
That galleon's gonna be already on the ground by the time he gets his balloon popped.
Same with the junker. And these red ships do not have hydrogen. They have drogue ship, which will slow their descent significantly, but it'll still takes them a long time to get back up, especially the galleon, which doesn't have a buff balloon. The junker has a buff balloon, which is amazing. The buff balloon is definitely your, most of the time, your favorite buff on any ship. Most ships, but... it still take them a while to get back up after being popped, like we saw in the last engagement there.
The galleon?
The junker.
Oh, the junker. Well, yeah, damaged balloon does wonders for vertical maneuverability. Against vertical maneuverability. That junker is... yes, that junker is not going to have a very good time against this sniper mob. The junker, unfortunately, because he has Artemis, has to stay high up as well.
Yes.
The Gizmo Duck doesn't have to worry too much about it though. He can start out low because of the lumberjack upward arc. But that Mobula is definitely focusing out that galleon's lumberjacks, it seemed.
Looks like Gizmo Duck is trying for a flank. They're arrow burning their moonshine.
Yeah, looks like they are indeed moving around for a flank. I wonder how this is gonna work out. I'd wager that the blue team's probably not going to do too much against the junker, though. Like, even if they did realize he was ballooned by himself, I think they're perfectly content just staying together by themselves.
And the junker has excellent cover right here. Whenever they start taking damage, they can just keep away from these blue ships. Unless the blue ships move in and try to flank around it, but for now, the junker is very safe.
The problem would be if blue team moves in, but right now it looks like they're actually backing off, currently. Oh, it looks like they're trying to back him off so that way they're both together. Gizmo Duck looks like he's ending his flank early. Just gonna go meet up with Graveyard Shift instead. That's kind of a shame, because he was kind of getting into a good position there for a flank, for a long-range flank, but he just decided to meet up with Graveyard Shift instead. So Graveyard Shift was left by himself for a good long while.
Nibelug taking a fair bit of damage right here.
More importantly, Nibelug losing his balloon.
Yeah.
I think this might be a huge disadvantage for that Mobula. He's trying to pull back and gain some distance, but he's now disadvantaged because he's far lower than everybody else.
At the speed that they were falling, though, all the shots from the Graveyard Shift, all the Hades and Artemis managed to... and missed. which was able to save them some components and armor. This next engagement right here.
Gizmo Duck being at equal level with the Mobula, because he lost his balloon. At Nebula now taking advantage of attacking the Graveyard Shift as Gizmo Duck is behind cover. Graveyard Shift effectively in a 2v1 currently as Gizmo Duck tries to recover here. Junker also pulling into cover as the Galleon moves out to engage, so now it's another 2v1 except the other team. Except the other ship.
Some good
Just
lumberjacks.
Both blue team focusing fires on these one guys as they come out of cover.
Yes, that red team does not want to fight this way. Then the Gizmo Duck was able to pop, I believe they popped both the blue ship's balloons, or at least came close. And like you were saying at the beginning of the match, they were staggering their fire. They were shifting their fire between the gunners.
Yeah, it looked like they both actually targeted separate ships in the initial engagement, so they popped both those ships in like the couple of seconds they were out there.
Now the Graveyard Ship's getting some good shots against this Mobula. They actually break some components and do a fair bit of armor damage. Now the Galleon's running in on the Junker.
A lot of these Hades missing from the Junker, just going wide on the Mobula. Oh, okay, a couple of them managed to hit there. Nope, now they're going too high. Yes, long range warfare is probably 1 parts pilot, 2 parts gunner.
Yes.
A team that's able to actually accurately land their shots is going to have a major advantage against a team that lands only half.
This could be near the end of the Niblug here. If they keep getting their balloon popped on the ground, they're done for.
Yes, Mobula is not very well known for taking the ground very well in comparison to the Galleon or the Junker.
You can say that. Now they did manage to get cover from the Galleon, which saved their life.
Did they get cover from the Galleon, or did the Galleon
And the
take
Galleon
cover from the King's Decree?
Yes,
It
that's
looks like they're taking cover from the
that
Galleon.
is what I meant to mend. But exactly. Then the King's Decree forced the Gizmo Duck to get into cover.
Yeah. However, yes, because the Gizmo Duck did have to go in cover, that did save the life of the Mobula. They did have the Mobula on the ropes, but
Yes.
the Mobula was able to recover and rise up now to mid-level. Now they have the height advantage here.
And Red Team backed themselves into kind of a corner right here, which they still have some good defense. They can keep back using this cover, but it's not.
I suppose if Red Team wanted to, they could honestly just wait out a reset, because Blue Team is more than happy to be passive and wait. I think a reset would heavily favor Red Team here if they just sat back, waited to repair, and got their height again behind this rock.
The issue is we only have 3 minutes remaining. 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Red Team has to burn in right now. They have to get close. They have to use their close range guns, or at least
actually, that would probably be a good move on their part if they did just aggressively burn in and use close range brawl weapons.
They're gonna.
I think they would have a huge advantage because they have brawl capability.
It's the only option they have. They can't. This long range engagement is going to be over 2 minutes. They can kill one of them.
Oh, never mind. Well, because the Mobula has Gat Flak, so I guess they don't actually have that much of an advantage at all. Yeah, so the Red Team's kind of.
They can't kill 2 blue ships in 1 minute at range. They could do it if they brawled.
They would actually have to kill 3 because that would just make
3.
it tie.
Okay.
Yeah, and blue has first kill advantage.
Yeah, this. Well, good job to the sexy cage gliders, but it's not over yet. There is overtime, though.
Yeah, there is overtime, but I mean, like, they'll only tie the game that way?
Yeah.
I'm not quite aware of what the overtime rules are, but I'm sure if they tie the game, it'll still go first kill advantage.
It will.
Which is blue team. So everything is pretty much turned up sexy cage gliders at this point.
This will at least give the red team a little bit more time to try to get their kill. But Graveyard Shift, a bit too many of these Hades missing onto the King's... the Mobula. Gizmo Duck's about down here with these life flags going out. Those burst life flags doing so much hull damage.
Nebula closing in to finish him off, yeah, using those light flags to deal the damage, as the Merc and the Artemis just pin down his weapons.
And we will have an overtime here with the Junkers still engaging these blue ships. And they do have buff guns, especially this buffed Hades, but it's not quite enough Hades hitting at this range. Okay, I believe... Is the overtime 30 seconds? I'm not quite sure. I believe it is 30 seconds or something around there. Maybe a minute.
I am unaware of what overtime rules are. Since I only actually hear of them in the SCS, but I don't really watch SCS that much, so...
Yeah. Well,
I just know that it exists, and if there's an engagement going on, it's something about first kill on overtime if it's a tie game or something wins.
May allow this, there's 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes overtime. And this will
thank
allow
you,
the Galleon to get back in. So, I mean, they could have even gotten... And now they have to get 4 kills. And hopefully we'll be able to see one.
Don't they have to maintain a engagement for those 3 minutes as well?
I believe so. Okay,
Getting
so,
4 kills
yeah, you're right.
With, getting 4 kills in 3 minutes while maintaining an engagement the entire time is,
Unlikely.
it's quite
at
an
best.
uphill struggle.
Back when it was
Not
2
out the
kills.
realm of possibility,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's gotta be a lot of perfect case scenarios. Especially with their only actual kill weapons being Artemis
Yes, that's a good point.
in long range engagements.
And Artemis is the least potent explosive weapon. It's great for disabling, but in terms of hull damage, it does less than the life flak. Like a third of the life flak, maybe a quarter, and maybe half a Banshee. Now, after the Niblog hits the ground right here, this will be their end. Lumberjack's connecting. Now, what this modular pilot wants to do is use their hydrogen as soon as the balloon gets back up. Okay, they managed to use it. Yeah.
Yep, it looks like they're gonna actually get behind this pipe thanks to that though. Or they'll land directly on it because they're moving forward. Oh. Oh no, you're on top of the pipe. That's not where you want to be.
The Gizmo Duck has backed off. Yeah, I guess I can't shoot can't keep shooting the Niblug.
I think they're backing off from the pressure of the King's Decree. Their balloon's alright though, so I don't know what pressure they were taking, but they backed off. Oh, now it's not alright. It was alright.
This blue team is keeping the red team pinned down very effectively in both these last 2 engagements.
Yeah. Yes, the corner that the red team is in does not allow for much movement. It's at the altitude they're being kept at right now. It's very unfortunate for them. Well, looks like it's game though. 3-0 to the sexy cage dancers, it seems.
Their second win today. I wonder how much of a difference the Mobula with their Merc double Artemis versus the Chunk with the Hades double Artemis managed to make this match. Because
I would say, considering it was the ship that was actively leaking all the ships, it made a rather large difference. That and in the first couple of engagements, they shot the Galleon immediately, and the Galleon did not have any lumberjacks, while their Galleon was able to just rain down fire.